Welcome back to the Two Yachts for a Saint podcast. Myself, Gaz, Carl, and Jordan, powered by Acorn joining me leads. Um, Carl, Jordan, what do we think of this weekend? And one of us is happy and one of us isn't.
Yeah, I'll let Jordan speak first.
Yeah,
Um, I watched, like I say, I watched the full game. When we were talking about it, weren't we? During one of you said, didn't you? A tried second half. I'll change it. Um, I actually missed the try, to be honest. Brought you back into the game. But you were 12-6, weren't you? Like literally 5 minutes into the second half. So
yeah,
realistically, it will game on, wasn't it? I don't know. I just thought it would a very it would a solid performance by KR. I do feel a little bit like Saints. We're a little bit like Lee, where they just kind of were a bit too far for them. You know what I mean? Like I think it were those games that were like end of road sort of thing for the season. Uh,
yeah.
I mean, like
We just couldn't get out of our own half, especially in the first half. Um,
yeah,
it
yeah,
was a weird game. I thought it was a bit of a scrappy game as well because I thought KR had a bit more than they gave us. I
yeah,
expected
yeah,
a more out of them considering the amount of ball they had an hour and a half.
yeah. I
That being
think
said, our attack wasn't good enough.
yeah. I mean, you give it a little bit more in second half. Obviously, I'm sure we can all agree that first half were a little bit of a one-side traffic sort of thing.
Yeah,
But yeah, second half, like I say, scoring. Both of you said that anyway. That you know, what I mean, one try can change it. I mean, I'm sure Reece Martin had a bit of a shocker, didn't he, when he took over kicking. I know there were obviously high winds and stuff, but I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. You could have gone 14, couldn't you, at one point? So to make it a little bit more um, like better on the score sheet, but. I were watching the game and I were crying out for a drop goal, to be honest. And I really don't understand how KR didn't go for one, just to settle the nerves a little bit. Because you go from what happened with Leeds, you know, they only need to score one try and it would game on it. So, and you got quite a lot of possession, didn't you, Gaz?
yeah. There was things like certain things. I think like the when Sailor kept it in. Obviously, it was foul. He was facing the opposite try line. It is a knock on, but the way he got that and he got fouled and obviously knows that going to score, but things that are not going for us. You know what I mean, it's not anyone's fault. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Um, I thought I thought Gildart was superb. I can't knock Ollie Gildart though. He was fantastic today. I'm going to go into him a bit more later on.
I felt a bit sorry for Broadman
Yeah,
because he's been
you didn't
solid
feel
all
sorry for
year.
Wellsby, did you?
It's what?
You didn't feel sorry for Wellsby, did you?
No, I didn't. No, I really didn't. I really didn't.
No. I wonder
To be
why.
fair, Jordan, I'll let you in a little secret before we delve into it in a bit more detail and what sort of went on in the game. When I met Gaz before the game for quick chat before the game, exactly what you've just said there. I said to Gaz, I went, can't believe Gildart's playing, to be honest. I said, Broadbent's been solid all year, and now he's been dropped to the bench. Well, shows you what I know because he scored 2 tries and he had an
Yeah,
outstanding game, the Gildart. So, I mean,
I
but yeah,
understand. I
yeah,
understand the change, but it's with those, and it? It's like he's gone. He said, didn't he? Did Peters that he went with what? Would it something to do with what Gildart stronger on that centre or something?
yeah, well, he's a natural centre, and he's
Yeah,
Broadbent's been outstanding, but he's been more of a utility player this
yeah,
season.
yeah.
He's played fullback, he's played centre, he's played on the wing. He came on hooker at some point in the season. My
Right.
overriding opinion on the game is I thought dominant first half from Rovers' point of view. I generally believe that they should have had maybe 16 points on the board. And I said to you boys, didn't I, in our group, at half time, that next trial will be really, important.
yeah,
Yeah,
Uh, and to be fair to Saints, they showed some big balls because they did a lot of defending in that first half. and the 15 minutes of the first 15 minutes of the second half, sorry, they'll put it on Rovers a little bit, and I won't say a lot of fans was worried in terms of Rovers supporters, but they definitely woke up and right win for a game here.
Yeah, we definitely had more of a save it in the second half.
It's its thing though as well. Like if you watch any game, any rugby league game, even commentators say it. There's always a point in the game where the other team's got a chance to kind of get back in it. There's enough time on board, and that happened with Saints. They were getting penalties. They were going your half. I'm sure they were in your half when you were 12-6 up. And it's at that point, like Gaz was saying about attack not being brilliant. But you had the options, you had the chances. It's just like when Leeds played Saints, we had the chances. No one can say, oh, we didn't have the chances, whatever. Every team has that chance in the game. There's a point in the game where it can change, and you just got to make sure that you turned on and switched on when that happens. And unfortunately, even the Saints just weren't, getting it right with attack, or whether full credit to Rovers and just, parked the bus and just kept solid defence like they have all year. So it's like we said, didn't we, Gaz, many weeks ago? We said, I think it was you that said it, wasn't it? When it defence wins championships.
There you go. And I think I'll wait till we go into it properly to obviously go deep into the game. But just before Carl goes into the Friday game, a little funny story I need to share here now between me and Carl. So we met before the game for a few minutes, had a little chat, and leaving the stadium, going back to the coach, there was a little mishap where the coach was blocking a couple of cars in, and lo and behold, it was one of it. It was his.
Yeah.
No.
What was the chance?
Like,
what is the chance of that?
Way, will you? Oh, you couldn't write it, could you? We
I've
got
got
told to go the other way.
I got a serious question.
Oh dear.
Who's taller?
Carl. There's not a lot in it, but Carl.
Also wider as well, Jordan, I am.
Oh. Got a bigger head,
yeah,
by looks of it.
yeah, it's you couldn't have written that really. I mean, I think Gaz wanted me to stay there all night and party. You must have said to your coach driver, "Hey up, mate, just block this driveway, will you?" And
you need to get the kids on, didn't you?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Lo and behold, you couldn't have written it. It was my car. So fair enough. Just to conclude that result, obviously Rovers won 20 points to 12. Tries from Mikey Lewis, Ollie Gildart, Joe Burgess, and 2 goals from Arthur Morg. Tries from St Helens came from Dion Cross, Robertson, and Lomax with 2 goals. You was right, Jordan, about Reece Martin. Excuse me, Reece Martin. He came on and he took over the kicking duties from Arthur Morg, but Gaz will probably tell you when that wind's up there, mate. It's so.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what? The sticks, obviously it's how we stand. I can see them wobbling at the far end.
Gaz, just before we move back slightly to the Friday game, obviously, don't take this the wrong way. End of the road for St Helens. I mean, I know you can pick holes in anything. What would your overriding emotion be in terms of the outcome of the season? Is there any areas that you'd probably want to strengthen for next year? And if so, what are they?
Oh, God, I could go on this all day, but I think...
Just give us a few minutes, mate.
Our problem is it started at the top of the pyramid. That's where the things need to start changing. Because I'm hearing rumours that Mike Rush is stepping down, which is great news for us because he's hopeless with recruitment at the minute. Even McManus, I think he needs to hand the club over to someone else. I believe the guy who owns Home Bargains, our sponsor, he's shown interest in buying shares to take over, but not while he's there. But that's rumour, so I don't know anything about that. I think with Mike Rush, he's had too much of a say in the players that we sign, and he's not letting the coach pick the players that he wants to fit into his style of play. And I think that's where Wells is getting the neck a bit unfairly, to be honest. But again, it needs to start at the top and then work its way down.
Is there any which key positions do you think they'll sort of pin and try and get some recruitment in between now and February time?
We need a prop. Definitely need a prop forward because Parsy's at the end of his career. I think Walmsley is. We've got Lees there who's should be like the senior prop now. We've got Stevenson, Delaney, the Wingfield can slot in, but he'll probably do a bit more back row. We need a good, experienced prop forward there, probably late 20s, just to guide the other two lads in. I would say if Lomax does pack in, obviously Mbai's leaving as well. We've got Whitby and either or Sailor at Wellesby or Sailor at 6. But again, need another experienced player in there.
Losing Bell and Batchel though as well, aren't you?
Yeah, but we've got Wright and the Jacob Boss from Rabbitohs coming in, so they're replaced already.
Okay.
The big one for me is loose forward. There's some massive boots to fill, but someone's got to come in and try and do it. That's where we're going to miss the most, is at loose forward. The backs, I'm happy with in a minute.
I think it's safe to say it's a mini rebuild,
Yeah, and the rebuild needs to start at the top.
I can see straight away from like a neutral point of view. It's your biggest enemy is the Wellesby and Sailor situation.
Yeah,
where he's playing one or the other in the position that they should be playing. I mean, I don't know, like say you're the expert, you guys with St. Helens, obviously it's your team, but there's obviously something going on there where it comes to attack and there's just kind of sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, sometimes there's kind of miscommunication, and for me, Wellesby needs to be fullback, so I don't know. Like say
we initially signed Sailor as a number 6.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Both him and Wellesby are better at fullback than they are at 6. Which is this is what I'm talking about with the recruitment.
Yeah,
I mean, they're signing these players, but they're not the right time.
Yeah.
It's mad. Pram, if he's not doing what he wants.
I think the thing with Sailor though as well is like I don't always like to compare, but you have to kind of compete with Wigan in a sense of like recruitment. Maybe you did feel like it were basically French or Jai Fields where they're coming. Most Australians, as we know, they're coming. They can play anywhere. They're all utility players. 9 times out of 10, all of them can goal kick.
But the problem is though with Sailor, like when you say about Bevan French, Sheffield, and all that, I expected a player to come in with a point to prove.
Yeah.
Play himself into the ground, get himself in the window for the NRL, and gone again, like a Ben Barber.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's done enough to get anywhere to even be looked at the minute.
Yeah.
He's had his moments, but there's some games where he's just been non-existent.
There's signs there, though. There's signs there.
There is signs there, yeah. But again, we have to keep up with KR and Wigan and yourselves. So, right, go on, Cal.
Yeah. I think it's definitely a work in progress. I mean, for the listeners out there, next week or the week after, part of our podcast will be reviewing each team's season, what they should do better and where they can improve. So we'll pack that one up there for now. And we'll jump back slightly to Friday night's game, which saw Wigan take an 18-6 win at the Brick Community over the Lee Leopards. Tries from Bevan French times 2. Sam Walters and Kieran kicked 3 goals. Try from Lee was from Robbie Mulhern and a Gaz O'Brien goal. I mean, what I saw of the game, Wigan weren't brilliant, but it pains to kill me. They just get it done, don't they, Gaz?
Yeah, I mean, watching that game, it was like a training game for them. Like they just barely got out of second gear. And that's scary. Going into a grand final when they're playing like that in a semi-final and still winning it. That must be scary for you lads.
Yeah. I mean, there was a talking point early on. Lee got a try disallowed early doors, didn't they? And it was giving them the other week. So I mean, if you're a Lee Leopard supporter and you want, you're looking something to grab on, so to speak, that was the moment where if they'd have sort of shot them cold early, they might have got a different result. But it's all if buts and maybes. I mean, to be fair, Jordan. Yeah, well, it's one of them, innit? Do we need better quality cameras? All that's up for debate, and we'll discuss that in the next part of the pod. I mean, Jordan, Lee are a good side, aren't they? But it just shows you how good Wigan are.
Yeah, I mean, from last week, I backed Wigan. I'm sure you backed Wigan as well. Like we said, they know how to get the job done this time of year. It's all just like second nature to them, isn't it? I did feel really sorry for Lee. I really did, because as much as Gaz was saying, like, yeah, Wigan didn't really go into second gear, which is scary. But I was gutted because I could see Lee trying. They were throwing everything at him. They just couldn't get through him.
Yeah. Some things just going against them, though, wasn't it? Like obviously the try, and then
Yeah.
the 50-50 with the Pappy and what's his name? Could have gone either way then, but
I just
just got
it's
lucky.
it's like for me, Lamb didn't turn up in that game.
No.
So that played a big vital role. I think it was like he were a shell of a man compared to what he's been like all season. And Brand had a bit of trouble as well. Just all their impact players that have been so great all year, that's made them successful. Everyone just kind of pushed down and let Wigan kind of take over. And everyone else things like say I could definitely tell they were trying. They were definitely fight there. It was just you could kind of see as the game was developing that they were getting rolled over a little bit, and it was going to get to a point where Wigan were going to kind of take the game, which they did in the end, unfortunately. I know obviously you said, Gaz, that you thought they'd get to the final. I just in my brain, I just didn't see a result where Lee would be grand final. And that's no disrespect to Lee. I just, they turned it on last couple of rounds before it ended the league. You know what I mean? You're only going back maybe 6-7 weeks ago when Leeds turned them over. And
I think the week off had a big effect in that game.
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah,
and likewise in ours, because we got knackered and you could have played another half an hour.
It's a lot for these teams that are in elimination finals. It's a lot because, like I say, yourself, Carl, you and Wigan had a week off. Obviously, you needed the week off because obviously you played so many games, and it will, like say, elimination final. Me and you guys, obviously Wakefield, Lee, it went hard because we had to just carry on.
Yeah.
So all these injuries and all these suspensions and that, you just kind of have to get going and carry on. And it's been a long season, a lot of achy bodies, a lot of players that have kind of gone as far as they can for the season. You know what I mean? Like, Jowett for Wakefield, he went out one day in that game, and Lamb didn't play well in that game with Wigan. So it's like everybody, you can kind of tell players are kind of getting to the point where
it's where the fitness comes in, which team's got the better fitness through the season.
Yeah, 100%.
So that saw Wigan take an 18-6 win, like I said, over the Lee. Just before we move on to the next part of the pod, I mean, I like the bloke, but he's an absolute tool at times, isn't he? Just a quick mention on
I wonder who
Mr. Beaumont.
Yeah.
Do you know what? People call him, and people, call him quite often, and he's give them people a reason to call him again. I mean, he's done some terrific things for the Lee Leopards club, on and off the field. So, I mean, why he's gone to all that trouble, on Thursday, whenever it was, saying he's not going to rock up because they haven't given him enough tickets, blah blah blah. Well, I've been watching their games in previous encounters at the Brit community. Yeah, and he's not fulfilled the 10% they normally get of each stadium anyway. Last couple of times I've been away at Wigan, so I mean, whether it's a publicity stunt trying to get everybody more eyes on the game, well, it certainly didn't work, and it backfired because he made himself look an absolute tool, especially in front of the media, social media. People around the country talking about it. For all the good he's done,
for all the wrong reasons. Yeah.
What's the most important, Carl? It's not great for players.
no. And my overriding emotion was, I mean, there's a good club there, and in his heart he's a good owner, but he has these brain farts, doesn't he? He has
Yeah, it
these
does.
brain
Yeah.
farts. I mean, what's Adrian Lamb thinking with that, Gaz? What's he thinking when his owner comes out with that nonsense?
I think Adrian Lamb's just like, do you know what? Sod that. I've got a game to prep for here, and he needs to get that out to players' heads as well. But
It
the
will
biggest
like,
backfire with it was that
yeah.
corner of the East Stand was empty. So sets of fans have missed out because of what he's just done.
It's like what it's kind of done is, like when you were at school and you were playing football with someone's ball, and kid who owns the ball takes the ball away, and we're
Yeah.
like, you don't play anymore. That was basically like what he's done. And like you say, Adrian Lamb trying to prep for a game, and he's just taken a ball and gone, no, we're not playing. We're going that way. And they're like, no, we need to play this game. No, we're not playing now. Like, it were that pathetic. Like,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was ridiculous. I mean, I've had good things to say about the bloke. Like you say, he gave me a good chunk of time for an interview, but I'm just running out of excuses for him now. I can't do it. I certainly
yeah,
can't defend that last week.
yeah,
That was ridiculous.
yeah,
That's what I mean for all the good stuff he does within the game and the community around Lee. I mean, just has these brain farts that let him down. So if I can minimise that, I think it'll be best for everybody in the competition, don't you?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if he's like you say, he's gonna go out there and say, "Oh, we're not playing." Then players are going, "We've worked hard all season to get to this
yeah,
game,
yeah.
and you're trying to say we're not playing."
Like I say,
I won't, I won't blame him if they'd walked out.
that's bad in any fixture, but a
Yeah,
semi-final,
yeah,
like say, you're not guaranteed. I mean, fair enough. I know it sounds silly because obviously it's back to back for them in it playing Wigan, it's
yeah.
semi, but not everybody's guaranteed a semi-final. So for all we know, might be in their last semi-final for a few years or whatever.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
we only
you
got
can't.
what 1100 for KR. I didn't see McManus kicking off.
Well, it's one of
You know
those
what I
that
mean,
you
it
Well,
is what it
just
is.
it's one of them. You probably wouldn't see any of the chairman or owner within the Super League clubs that would behave like that. So luckily, it's just a one-off, and hopefully Derek can wind his neck in, so to speak. For all the good he does, he has embarrassed himself
Yeah,
probably more than anybody.
it does
So yeah,
mean well.
well,
It just goes the wrong way about it at times.
yeah, yeah, he
yeah.
does. He does for sure. So right, we'll move on to the next results. So I think you boys saw a bit of it yesterday. The Championship Grand Final. York City Knights got beat by Toulouse Olympique, 10 points to 8. I mean, I said to you boys in the group yesterday, didn't I? Why is this not on the TV? Why is it not on Sky Sports or the BBC? I mean,
Yeah,
there's me plowing through YouTube trying to find it, and when I did find it, the internet wasn't great. If we want these, there's a good chance that these two teams will come up in the 14. So why are we not putting that on the TV and showcasing, giving people access to see these potential Super League teams for the future? I mean, to be fair to Toulouse, they ground it out and they just about deserved it in the end.
yeah.
Yes,
I
mate, they
didn't
did.
see it, but
Yeah,
I believe that. Yeah, 5 penalties. Yeah, I mean, how do you win a final without scoring a try? That's just bonkers to me, but it's a very old school rugby league result. That one.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think York couldn't sort of get going in that final third. They did well to the red zone, so to speak, and they just couldn't. They're a bit like Saints, really. They get to the final third and there was lacking with a last tackle play or a kick
Yeah,
or some form of set piece. It was just for what they've
story of our
been doing
season.
all
That.
year, York. For what York have been doing all year to win the Championship League leaders and obviously the 1985 Cup or whatever it is. They've done the double and they've done well. I just thought maybe the course of the season caught up with them, and Toulouse sort of took advantage of that in the end. I mean, would you have both of them teams come up in part of the 14, Jordan?
Um, I really, really think York should be in there. I think we've all agreed, the recruiting for it. They definitely got the backing, I suppose, for it. But that just threw a spanner. It works for me that, and I've just literally before I come on, I read an article on it, basically saying the same thing. I don't think, and I said this to you boys in group, I don't think Toulouse, I know it sounds a bit silly to say it, to be honest, but I don't think Toulouse would get in Super League if York win that game. But because Toulouse won, I feel like out of respect, you've got to kind of put them in there because when you think about the championship, they've won the title, and it's weird because it's been happening every year, hasn't it? Where you win title and then you're right back. There's no promotion. There's no like that. So it's right. We're back again doing another season. It's like it don't mean anything really. Whereas this time it does. It's like eyes are on you. You've got to play your best rugby. You know, winning the league. It just like winning the league this year. It's winning the league puts you indoors to Super League with him expanding the league. So for me, I personally won't want to lose in there now when I'm thinking about it. I did originally. I do think it'd be good with Catalans because I think they'd have some sort of like deal in France and stuff. Like I think like they do quite a good, you know, sort of Sky deal there or something where it might bring some more fans in. But I don't think any of us lot would want to go to France twice. Would we?
I've not been
I would-
once yet, but yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely go. I would definitely go twice.
Do you imagine
we
having
played
them
him in the
back to back?
Yeah, well, I don't think that'd be
they'd do that to
feasible
anyone.
for the average working man.
Yeah.
But
I
I think
reckon on merit,
Sorry, guys.
which is what it should be. But we know the
Yeah.
RFL don't give a rat's ass about merit.
No, they
But
don't.
on merit,
Yeah.
them two should be up there. Obviously, one won the grand final, the other one league leaders, and then it's a dogfight for the third spot.
Where did London finish?
I'm not
I
sure.
think London was down in eighth or somewhere like that. I think.
See, that's
But
massive. You see,
it's one of those, isn't it? You're at, there's going to be a couple of factors here. It's going to be if you're financially backed, you're going to get a shout, and if you've been at the top end of the table and in the playoffs, you're going to get a shout, and that's why I keep banging the drum in terms of York, Toulouse, and London because I've got all three of them boxes ticked.
there's going to be a lot of arguments when all these teams are being picked. There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to have, that aren't going to be picked that probably have got a point, to say, why aren't we picked and they're not picked. I think there's going to be quite a lot of discussions. I think when this kicks off.
Yeah. Well, I think I read an article a few days ago, guys, that back end of the week there's going to be some more information released. So eyes peeled for that and see how we go. There was another game. There was another game last night in the women's game, women's grand final at the Brick Community. Again, the Pies, Wigan Warriors ladies, they came away with a 16 points to 12 victory against Gaz's Saints ladies. Again, credit to Wigan, the ladies team have won the treble this year. Massive shout out to Dennis Becks, mixture of youth and experience, and again they just get the job done. Gaz, I believe you was at that game. Gaz, can you tell us much about that?
Yeah, I was there. The first half you couldn't call it. It was a 50-50 game. I think we were just slightly had the advantage with Faye Gaskins kicking. Second half started off pretty much the same. Then Wigan got into it a bit more. But so we're going to go into later had a cracking game, and yeah, it's well deserved in my opinion for Wigan. They earned it. They've been a standout team all season.
Yeah, that's it. It's certainly the benchmark for the next season or two in terms of the ladies' game. But that packs up the results for the Super League, the Championship, and the ladies' game. So now we'll move on to Bad Lads Corner. I know this is Jordan's favourite segment. I'm sure there'll be a piece of lovely editing coming this way on this week. So first of all, we've got Edwin Mpape up from the Leigh Leopards. He got done for a late contact on a player, 1 penalty point and 1 match suspension. You guys tell me if I'm wrong, but these suspensions will carry over till next year. Is that right, Gaz?
Yeah, I imagine so, yeah.
Yeah, so another 2 in Bad Lads Corner. 2 for my team and 2 for Gaz's team. So next up is Matty Lee. He got a grade A for a trip, 1 penalty point and no further action. Johnny Lomax, he got another grade A for a late contact on the passer. 1 penalty points, no further action. And this is the one that really boils my piss. And I'll be totally honest with you. Jared O'Weir-Hargreaves, the man, the myth, not so much the legend for Rovers. Obviously, the big enforcer within the game for a number of years. He received an 8 penalty points, and he's got a collection of 19 this year. He has been suspended for 3 matches. The Rovers are taking it to a panel tomorrow evening. I don't see that getting overturned. We believe it was a high contact on John Bennison. I think Bennison went off for an HIA at the time, and normally with that comes a suspension. And I don't see it being turned over. I mean, I've always loved Jared. I thought he was awesome when he was at the Roosters. Obviously, done a lot over there for that game. He's come over here back end of his career. Yes, he's won the double, but could have been playing at Old Trafford on Saturday, and it's not looking like that's going to be the case. I mean, what did you make of it at that time, Gaz? I know you said it was a late one, didn't you?
Yeah, I seen it happen, and I've had people saying, "Oh, it was already going down." It's like, well, it doesn't matter. We've had players sent off for that, and this is not sour grapes or anything like that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's what the referee says, but the inconsistency with that rule, especially this season, has been ridiculous. I mean, he didn't even get punished on the field for a penalty. Like, if there's contact with the head, he's had to go off for a HIA. There's something that's happened. Have a look at it.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I'm not just saying it because
Right,
it's us. It's across the board.
Yeah, you're right, mate, because he probably let worse things go in that game, and referees probably have let worse things go all season long. So it's just that inconsistency what we're asking for as
Yeah.
supporters, aren't we? I mean, you know, we know Jared gets his bumpers up when he goes into his tackle, and sometimes it can look worse than it actually is. But ultimately, Jordan, at the end of the day, now with head knocks and HIAs, that's number one priority. Whether he's falling or not, it's down to that player to look after the opposing player, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think we were talking about last week about, inconsistency and, with referees this season, especially. And there's definitely needs to be some improvements across the board. Like I said, I think when someone's falling and there's a high tackle or just a high tackle in general, I think the ref kind of does deal with them differently, and they need to be a lot more better for me, especially going into next season. I think there needs to be some changes made. I don't think there will, to be honest, but there needs to be.
You just need to have one rule go. Like, if there's contact with the head in any situation, it's penalised or not. It's just
There's so much.
It blows my mind.
There's so much open for interpretation. That's the problem, isn't the Gaz?
Yeah,
Players running that
magic word again, mitigation.
Yeah, that's just a cop out for. I'm going to bottle
you're right.
The decision, and I get it because it's not easy. Referees haven't got an easy gig by any stretch of the imagination. So anybody listening who thinks we're here just to say bad things about referees, it's incorrect. We've got an hard gig, and we can only hope for that it gets better as the years go on. But ultimately, it's the safety of the opponent, especially towards the head. So yeah,
I do have a proposition.
I'll
do have a quick. I'll be very quick. If a player's down and they're being treated on the field for a head injury, the video ref should get involved and have a look, and they should make a call on it. So if they see like a swinging arm or something like that, then it's sorted out on the field then. Instead of going, we'll deal with that on Monday or whatever. Because it could have a big
Jordan
impact on the game.
last week, didn't you? I think we spoke about different captain challenges and ins and outs last week, didn't we? But it's how many times do we stop the game? How many times do we, you know what I mean? So it swings and roundabouts, I suppose. Yeah. And I get what you're saying.
The clock's already stopped for the treatment. So they can just have a look while that's happening. Go, like, what's happened here? Yeah. Oh, he's clobbered him, right, you off 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's job done then.
I think if the refs come about it quick and get into a system of, doing that routine, so to speak, I think it definitely work. We just don't want to see too many stoppages, do we? That's the thing,
Yeah.
especially if you're the attacking a team and you've got momentum. It's not always about how much time you're wasting on the clock. It's about momentum within a crucial point of the
Yeah.
game.
No, yeah.
So we'll park that one up for Jared. Gutted for him, but it is what it is. His aggression got the better of him at the end of it. Another Rovers player, Sam Luckley, grey day for late contact on a passer, 1 penalty point, no further action. Sticking with Bad's Lads Corner, last week I mentioned an allegation that got made by a Wakefield player against a Leigh player. It went to a tribunal last
King
week.
scoundrel. Look at him.
Advertisement.
Yeah. Like a car salesman, Jordan, aren't you? I like it. So that allegation has been dropped. There's not enough evidence within that. So the RFL won't take that any further. So, apart from the Larry Hargreaves, which is going to be reviewed tomorrow, I don't see him playing. That's probably the only change. So I think Rovers and Wigan Warriors will be pretty much at full strength, barring that. Obviously,
We say tomorrow at the time recording.
Yeah. Give me a bit of accountability for that, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so that concludes Bad Lads Corner. Move on to your not team of the week, guys. We've been doing standout players of the week, haven't we, with us having a minimum amount of games.
Yeah, and I've tried to grab at least one from each side. You know what I mean? While we've obviously from both semi-finals and the women's final. The first one's Bevan French. He just makes rugby league look easy, doesn't he? He makes the game look so easy. Just his positioning, his pace, his footwork, his kicking game. He's a full package, and I think was it Matt Shaw said he's probably the best overseas player to come to Super League.
He's a player for me that he doesn't seem like he's ever. I've never watched a game with Bevan French where he's gone all out and that he's like tired and stuff. Like he never seems to. He's always jogging or seems to be jogging when he's running. It's just like he never gets into second gear, but he's world class. He's weird.
Yeah, he can be quiet for 75 minutes and turn a game on its head. He is like, I'm sorry, Carl, but he is the best player in Super League at the minute.
Listen, I totally agree with you, and he can pick his moments, can't he? I mean,
yeah,
he is the best player in Super League, closely followed by Mikey Lewis. Mikey's obviously got a few years, behind Bevan, but there's no denying he's the best player in Super League when he's fit and he's on the paddock and he's turning it on like a light switch, because that's what he does. And 95% of the games he does that in, he wins the game for Wigan.
Yeah.
So there's no argument with me with that, mate. Definitely not.
Yeah. And the other one from that game is Robbie Muller, and I think he just worked his socks off in that game, and he was, he had a well-deserved try as well. He's one of those players, doesn't do anything fancy. He sort of keeps himself on the radar, but it's the little efforts he does that makes him stand out. From our game, Ollie Gildart, I thought, like we touched on before, I thought he was brilliant. Not a lot to pick from at Saints, but I'm going to have to go Dion Cross just for that dummy through. When you sent, what's his name to the shop? How he did that, I'll never know.
Tamorg went. I think Artemorg went to the burger van for a hot dog, didn't he?
Oh, aye.
That's what it looked like anyhow. Yeah, definitely, mate.
I bought that dummy, never mind, but Artemorg. Reece Walsh. I mean, they're already saying it's probably the best individual performance in a grand final in Australia, but I'm dreading him in that Australia shirt. I'm not gonna lie. The women's,
it's a frightening prospect.
Oh God, that team's disgusting, isn't it? It's a cheat code. Yeah. Faye Gaskin, the best kicker in the women's game, in my opinion. She can not have put a foot through that ball. I'm gonna call this me star player of the week. Is Eva Hunter. When she started running that ball into our line, she was causing all kinds of murder. And she's the reason why Wigan won that game. She was the difference.
Yeah, definitely. I was quite surprised. I was quite surprised when I was watching the women's game how technically good they are.
Yeah.
without sounding too sexist, a lot of people out there that don't watch the women's game like we do, and probably don't take it so serious. But when you start taking note the last couple of seasons where the girls' games moved hell of a long way, the standards raising every year, and it can only bode well for the composition and all the ladies.
I'll tell you
part,
something else. They run harder than the blokes most of the time.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, I noticed that yesterday. They certainly do. So credit to them.
So yep, there you go. So we now I can go back to this. We now move on to Jordan's try of the week, and I've got a feeling I know what it is, and I'm going to be upset, Jordan.
You're going to be upset?
Yeah, I can know what's coming.
No, it's not. It's not. It's actually not from your game.
Oh, so it wasn't that NFL pass to Mikey Lewis that is your try of the week?
Nope.
Hey, listen, I've got a big issue with our passing across the board, so I'm saying nothing now. We'll come into that another week.
Like I said, there was some good tries this week. Not anything for me that were world class, apart from this one, which I think when we're just touching up on Bevan French, just the way he positions himself on the field. It was offside. He put himself onside. Jai Fields and Bevan French, there's not really else you can say, is that the passes down the line, Jai Fields in middle, flicked into Bevan French. Bevan French's second try for me. It's just it's something that happens that has happened all season. The support play, like I say, Bevan French just don't ever seem like he's in full gear. He just seems like he's jogging, and it's like he's playing part time. You know what I mean? It's weird. But for me,
he's so good at the game. He makes it look like he's not doing anything.
It's just, for me, when you look at that try, the second try, even his first try, but his second try in particular, he just read that run so well.
Yeah.
And he pulled himself back on side for that support play. And he's always there. That's the thing with Bevan French. He's always there. He's always around at the right time. You never see him miss a pass, or they're doing an offload and he's not there quick enough. He's always on point. And for me, yeah, it's that one for me. It's Bevan French's second try.
Yeah. Well, I can argue with that. I mean, I hate the fact that he plays for Wigan, but you just can't dislike him.
Yeah.
Because he's not a gobshite on the pitch or anything. He just plays his game and that's it.
He does, but it does feel like Wigan have got a cheat code. It's like when he plays, it don't matter who you're playing when you're Wigan. It's like you've got Bevan French on team. You're more or less going to win the game just because you've got Bevan French. It's crazy.
It almost gives you 16 points advantage.
Yeah, it does.
It's not first. Sack him.
Honestly, he's the sort of player that I'm kind of begging to go back to NRL, but I think he loves it too much.
Yeah.
Over here.
He's playing every week, and he's the top guy. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So that's try a week, Bevan French.
There we go. So now we move on to Carl and his news round. There's quite a bit for you to talk about there, son.
Yeah, I'll make some bullet points and then won't dwell too much on it because a lot of it's just basic news. So the first piece of news, Leo Hood signs for the Castleford Tigers in 2026. Obviously, Wakefield hooker, bit of a utility player at times. He'll do a job, and I'm pretty sure he'll shore Castleford's middles up. I'm not sure if this next one's confirmed or not. I've read a bit of both, really. So you might be able to tell me different, Jordan, with him not playing much this year at the Rhinos. Andy Ackers is rumoured to be signing for Bradford for next year.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Confirm or deny?
I don't think it's 100% confirmed, but I do believe it's more or less done, yeah. There's nothing being mentioned about him staying or signing another deal. So, like I say, I don't think I can confirm. But yeah, I do feel like it's going to happen.
It's the same with a lot of the Super League rumours and news and breaking news and all that type of stuff. Majority of us know a month or so in advance of who's signing for who, don't we? So
Yeah,
I'm
oh,
sure
yeah.
that'll come out. I'm sure that'll come out as a signed deal in the next few weeks. Lockie Lamb signs a 2-year deal with Lily Leopard until 2027. Again, I know you said the other night that he wasn't up so much, but that's probably a one-off game for him. It pretty much makes them tick on a weekly basis. His assists and try assists and his tries pretty much confirm how good of a player he is. So Crazy Beaumont will be happy with that signing. Wakefield Trinity forward Mateo Koza, he has rumoured to be set to move across to West Yorkshire with the Huddersfield Giants. He's a French international, big forward, somewhat probably Huddersfield need because they've been a bit weak and flimsy in defence this year, hence why they're sort of floating around the bottom of the table. And this one was dropped on us just before tea time today. Former South Sydney Rabbitoh and St Helens halfback Lewis Dodd. He signs a 1-year deal with the Catalan Dragons as of 2026. I mean, I watch quite a lot of NRL and 360 and all the programs that are over in Australia on Fox. So I've been watching this close, and to be fair to the bloke, Dodd's had some very harsh treatment over there. I think he's only performed a couple of times for South first team, and then he's just been dumped into the New South Wales Cup most weeks. It was rumoured that when he signed, it wasn't actually the coach. I can't remember what the coach was at the time, but I believe it wasn't his original signing. So he's probably had the shit end of the stick. He'll certainly give Catalans something to ponder about what he does. I mean, you'll know firsthand what he's capable of on his day.
Yeah, I mean, when he got that Achilles injury, when he came back, he wasn't the same player. Before that, he showed a lot of promise. He reminded me a bit of Sean Long in some ways, but after that injury, he weren't the same. And I think he sort of dined out on that drop goal for quite a bit now. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't upset to see him go. I wasn't bothered at all. To be fair, I thought Tommy Mason would do that to us, but lo and behold.
Yeah, well, that's it, mate. There's that connection there as well in the Catalan were making soon, and there's a few boys there who sort of, I won't say getting the band back together. That's maybe a bit of a disjustice to the Dragons, but the way the Dragons have been this season is definitely going to add to their ranks, Jordan, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he is. I mean, I said this to you guys before we come on. I think that's what Catalan's missing. They're missing that vital person in middle. And yeah, it's one of those for me where like I don't ever understand why like halfbacks go to NRL because they never cut it. Because for me, unless you're a prop or a second rower or even a loose, because I know Morgan Knowles is going into it's sorry.
It's hit me though. I'm not going to see him in the red V again.
I tell you what, guys, he's kicking you while you're down, isn't he? I mean, you get beat at weekend by us, and now he's mocking your players going to the NRL. Come on, Jordan.
So anyway, Morgan Knowles is
we're going to fall out one day. I can see it happening, John.
No, seriousness. Yeah, Catalans are a bit like your team at the moment, like we've said before. They're signing a new halfback every year. Usually it's an old Kiwi or an Aussie in it who's just coming to back end of career. So, Lewis Dodd, for me, Catalan seem to sign a lot of Saints players, so it's a bit of an odd one for me. With everything going on with Saints, I would have expected him maybe to go back to Saints, but obviously Gareth would probably be able to say better than what I'm saying. But
to be fair, I think George Ripley's got more to his game than Lewis Dodd has anyway.
Yeah, you're more like with Lomax maybe retiring, but
yeah.
I think ultimately with Lewis Dodd is obviously a talented player there. If you can get him on the paddock and keep him fit for 90% of the season, I think Catalans will probably get the best out of him. I don't doubt that for a minute. I think it's probably a good fit for them, and it's probably a good fit for Lewis himself at the minute, the way his career is at.
I do hope it works out for him. You know what I mean? Like, once he's playing for us, obviously I've got there is that connection there, but I don't want to see him fail. You know what I mean? I was gutted for him at Rabbitoh's first place.
Yeah, I think it was one of the directors at the Bunnies that signed him. It wasn't actually the coach at the time. I think it was
Yeah,
Was it Jason Demetro at the time? I can't
yeah. I think
remember.
he wanted him.
He wanted him, and somebody else didn't. And then obviously Wayne Bennett comes in. He's not quite good enough for Wayne Bennett, So he's
Wayne
like I
Bennett
said,
doesn't like
he's had
English
the shit.
players.
No, he don't. He got the shit end of the stick. So fair play to him going back over to the
Yeah.
Dragons and trying to kickstart his career. Wish him all the best with that. So yeah, that'll complete news round. We did a new segment last week, call ins and outs. We had a couple of things we discussed, and we all voted in or out. The first topic for ins and outs was the reason I came up with this one is because last few weeks I've had a lot of tries or so-called tries getting overturned for the wrong reasons. I mean, we saw one at Leeds, didn't we, where allegedly short of the line, but then they give it. We saw another one again in the league game, didn't we, at weekend? We all thought it was a try, but it was never. It didn't give a try. So the first topic was, I know we have TV and cameras and all that, but would you boys like to see the in-goal refs come back, in-goal judges come back for incidents like we've just discussed?
Yeah, I've missed seeing them run up and down the line with the trainers on. I remember one game, obviously I stand the West End in Saints, obviously we're right behind the sticks and he's up and down. And he had these white trainers on, he looked absolutely ridiculous. And he's got terrorised the entire time he was there, but serious note, I think they do need it. It's an odd one because if there's a dog pile on the line, they're not going to see what's going on either. And it's just adding another man to a bunch that don't know what they're doing, to be honest.
I just think that's the most important place on the field, in it, for obvious reasons, Jordan. I mean, if there's an extra body there, and it can maybe get a better angle on it or a better visual from a different position, surely that's got to benefit us, right?
It's an odd one for me, is that, because it's like, when you overcomplicate something, it can sometimes go not in your favour. So like, yeah, an extra body behind the goal area might be, easier, whichever. But it's like when you go back to the Sage try with Leeds, and the referee's on his knees looking at the try. And I said this last week. For me, there don't need to be another person there because he should have been making that call. And I just wanted to make a point, is that with the video referee overturning and stuff like that, there were a point I wanted to make, and it sounds yet again like I'm being sour, and I'm really not. But
that's because you are. But carry on.
Yeah.
But the try that we're given with Leeds game, right? Do you know when we were looking at it, and it were kind of overturned really quickly, and he didn't see all the angles, etc. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but when I've been watching the games in the semi-final, they seem to have been over analysing, and especially there were the Gildart try. Obviously, I know the Burgess one got overturned, but every time I'm watching it, I'm like, that is a try. Why are you taking so long? And it's almost like they've learned from that mistake that they've come out and said, and it's like they're overdoing it to a point where, like, they're looking at refs going, can I see another angle? Can I see another angle? Like, mate, it's a try. Why you need another angle? He's put the ball down. And it's, for me, it's like they've learned from it, or it seems like they've learned from it, and they're over compensating.
Oh, you got your apology, Jordan. Calm down.
So I'll take it that's an out from you then, Jordan, for in-goal refs. You don't want to see him into the game, no?
I'd say no, just because, like I say, it can overcomplicate it. And for me, they need to get the calls right. I don't think that will help. I think they need to just make sure that they're more consistent with what they're saying and what they're doing. I think that's where it'll improve. Whether it will or not, I don't know.
Are you in favour or out, Gaz? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm out. I don't see the point in it.
Right, I was going to go in because we all complain about not having the right decision and it's taking too long, blah blah blah. So you've got to see it from both sides of the coin, haven't you? So obviously that's out because it's 2-1. Topic number 2, with the 18th man getting activated, would we like to see that sort of less head knocks or more head knocks? So instead of 3 HIAs, do we bring it in after 2 or 1? What we're thinking?
I
on
think
that,
it should be
Gaz?
after 1. Once you lose a player to a head injury, then that's where they should come in. Instead
Yeah,
of
So
like letting
that's
3 players get head knocks, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
yeah, that's it should be earlier for me. Absolutely should be. Because they bang on about protecting the players, but they don't really enforce it as much as they should do. Or is it the way they're saying they're going to?
I just think with that is I think it needs to happen because we're all hell bent on player safety and all this, that, and the other. So why do we need for 3 people to get an head knock before we activate the 18th man?
Yeah.
So for me, it's a nin. What about you, Jordan?
yeah. I think like I say, we can all agree that when obviously we're watching his own teams play or just rugby in general, the chances of someone coming back on the field after an HIA is quite slim, really. You know, there is times where a player's gone off for rhinos and it's like, it wasn't that bad. He'll be back on, and it's not. And you know, with it being a head injury, you're so fragile with everything. And obviously, we don't know the tests that they do with the players that makes them, you know, not come on whichever. But for me, I would say it needs activating earlier on because you can lose a player just from that. And you know what I mean? It's 3 is too much for me because, like I say, you know, 1 goal thing for an HIA, and it could be 9 times out of 10. I always think it is curtains for night for player.
Yeah.
So I think the option of having it should be earlier. Yeah, so I'd say in for that.
So I think we can all agree with that one, can't we?
Unanimous.
I mean, it must be just before I move on to the 3rd topic. I mean, it must be frustrating for that 18th man that they've worked the backsides off all week in training, and and a lot of them lads think they're going to make the bench or the squad or whatever, and then obviously they rock up in their 18th man. It's a bit deflating, especially for the young boys that are hoping to get an opportunity. So surely that benefits them lads as well. So yeah. I've wrote something down for my 3rd thing. This is going to be a controversial one, and it's off the cuff, so to speak. Do you remember years ago, lads, where if you was going in for a try and you hit the corner flag, you was classed as being in touch.
Yeah.
And I know you're gonna call me and shout me out and all that type of stuff. But I mean, would you like to bring that back in, or would you rather keep it out, Gaz?
Yeah, I'd keep it out because as long as the ball is grounded and in play, I mean that's all that really matters, isn't it? I don't think the corner flags have any kind of effect in it.
Yeah, it used to, didn't it? I mean, one of them you could argue that the corner flag's part of the line because it's dug into the line, so to speak, innit? I mean, what's your take on that, Jordan?
I've never liked it. I never liked when they changed it. For me, the corner flag is out when you touch the corner flag. I mean, if you think about it, this is where all these aerial thinking tries have come from, where people are diving
Great
like
to watch
Superman.
though, aren't they?
This was
yeah.
They're great to watch those them flying
100%.
corner tries.
100%. They're great to watch. I mean, when you see like Tom Johnston, you know, Marshall and that doing Makinson doing tries one-handed, and you know half the bodies are in of a stand. They are great to see, but for me, it doesn't seem believable. It seems weird for me when I'm watching it, and it's like, when do you call it out? When do you say they're out of touch? And it's you can watch a game and they're passing down line and they're getting to corner flag, and you know 1,000% that they're going to score because they know they've got. It's almost like they've got an extra inch on or an extra yard on the side of pitch, so they know when they're at the corner flag, they can still go in for try. So for me, it makes the game a little bit weaker for me. It always has done. I've never liked it. I think bringing it back in would make the game a little bit more tougher because, like I say, I think it gives players a lot of slack, if you want to say that as a right word, because like I say, all these aerial tries and that. This is where it all came about. You never really saw that when corner flag were out. You know what I mean? When you'd watch video ref, wouldn't you? And he'd say, right, his leg touched corner flag, and it's like, yeah, for me, he's out, so it's a no try. So for me, I'd say in, if that's what we're saying.
Yeah. I get
that's
you mean.
surprising me that
the game's evolved, wasn't it? And it's just all part of
Mhm.
the evolving process.
You got to think if say KR are playing it final, well, KR are playing it final with Wigan, right? And Marshall goes in corner. It's 6 apiece, and Marshall goes in corner on 79th minute for winner. And half his limbs are in corner in stand, and he's more or less hanging off at touchline, and he gets his arm down on try. Are you not gutted that that's given? And corner flag's bent in half, and that's down as a try, that, and it's basically, it don't matter any part of your body that's hanging out of the touchline, as long as that ball's grounded, it's classed as a try. So it baffles me, really does.
I think a lot of wingers within the competition and the game in general would absolutely slaughter us if that came back into force.
Oh yeah, no, would.
What I would say is, as well, on the flip side to that, while we're on that discussion of them areas of the pitch, I mean, for me, the biggest thing is, and I didn't really think of it until this point, and what you've just said is, I think all them in goal areas need to be the same size at every ground across the professional game. I mean, you go to some grounds and the in goal areas are
Look at Old
2
Trafford.
foot bigger than others, aren't they? Old Trafford at weekend will be ridiculous, and obviously you fly down a slope, don't you, if you score there? Headingley's are quite small, aren't they? Rovers are quite big. I just think, in general, I think they all need to be a size which is all the same for every pitch. I mean, I don't know what you boys think on that very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, if it's part of the pitch, it should be the same.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly. There should be like a rule in it where every ground should have the same. I know it sounds silly, but when we're talking about these teams coming into Super League, and obviously they go off the grading and the pitch and the finances, etc. Like, this kind of all plays in the part for me, where everyone's got to be treated different. Everyone's got to be treated the same. Sorry, the ground, the goal area's got to be the same. Touchline's got to be the same. The markings, everything. Everything's got to be exactly the same across the board, because otherwise it ain't fair. And for me, that's where it all kind of comes down. They should be the small things, really. They shouldn't really be an issue. They should all just be the same measurements. You know what I mean? It should never be an issue for me, but it is, because, like I say, it happens.
Yeah. I mean, pardon the pun, but it should be a level playing field, shouldn't it? I mean, it should all be the same. We all know the rules, the regulations, the size of the pitch, etc. But it's all talking points and it's all debate. So yeah, that concludes our new segment, Ins and Outs. Now over to you, Jordan, with the preview of the big game on Saturday.
So the grand final on Saturday sees Leeds Rhinos play.
Hey, Gaz, the CEO's at it again.
Wake up, John.
Sorry, I was living in 2008 and 2007. Saturday sees Wigan Warriors play Hull Kingston Rovers. I think, jokes aside, I think it's kind of been cemented all season. Top two, they've not moved realistically. I know Rovers have held it all season. Wigan kind of got it from, I think, 4th round in, second spot. But they've just, I can't even argue it. It's two best teams by far. It's going to be a really good game. I can't call the game, I'll be honest. I think, I don't know, I think Carl should be worried, because I think Wigan, I mean, I know he's not stupid. I know, Carl, you're not going to go in that game thinking you're 100% winning, because no one does. But Wigan are, they do turn it on. And like I say, when you've got Bevan French and Jai Fields on pitch, Marshall, across the board, they're so strong and they just know how to win games. So I personally, me personally, want to see that treble. I want to see the third Yorkshire team win the treble. Leeds and
You
Bradford
better
have
watch
done
that
it.
KR shirt. You're almost that then.
I have to watch it. I have to watch it more. Yeah, seen two Yorkshire teams do it. Been a while, 2015 since it happened. So I really, really do want Rovers doing it. I just think it'd be good for the game. I think it kind of puts a spin on it from last year, from quadruple. Just shows you that, you turn it, you kind of, I wouldn't say turn off, because like I say, they've still been there, Wigan all year, but they go from winning quadruple to winning nothing. It'd just be so good for the league. And to be fair, KR have deserved it. They've been so good this year. And I'd hate for them to not do it on Saturday. I don't know what you think, Gaz, but I've definitely got my KR on for
Yeah,
Saturday.
I've got no any kind of emotional connection to the game. I'm going to watch it and enjoy it either way. But
Mm.
if I'm going to go off the two semi-finals, as much as I think KR have got plenty there, I just think Wigan grab a bit too much. And that's the Saints fan saying this about Wigan.
I think I know Carl's going to obviously jump in just before he does. The thing with KR, like I say, I don't know whether I'm sure he'll agree with me. I'm sure you'll agree with me, Gaz. But for me, you've got a few players in that KR team. Minicello, Mikey Lewis, uh, Jedi, forgot his name. These have all got to play a part in this final on weekend. If Mikey Lewis don't turn up, uh, if Litton, I mean, I know he has turned up every game, but like Litton, if he has an off game, this is where Wigan are going to then turn up, and they're going to do them.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think
they've
final
got to play.
experience as well is going to do it. Will help Wigan as well. So you've got previous winners in Bevan French, Jay Field, Harry Smith,
Yeah,
Brad O'Neill. Just majority of the team have already been there and done it. I know
yeah,
the likes of I think the Burgess with it with Wigan. I can't remember.
yeah. Did you? Yeah,
Then yeah,
yeah,
so I know you've got a couple of winners like Gildart as well. You have got some
yeah,
winners in that team.
yeah.
But I was think overall, I hate to say it, but I just think
I
Wigan have
know,
got too much.
I know.
Is
No,
your sound is your
no.
sound back now, Cal?
Yeah, the sound came back as soon as I didn't want to hear what you were saying, Gaz.
Oh, I love that.
You can't write it, can you?
I know it's
No,
typical. Isn't
it's one of them. And in my opinion, it's a toss of a coin. I mean, I was just about to say to you lads, I think it comes down to as simple as this: whoever plays the best.
Oh, his sound's gone again. Oh, we've we've lost Carl. He's talking, but we can't hear him. I think what he's trying to say is it's one that depends which version of which side turns up.
Yeah,
I mean, if you get like say a Mikey Lewis who might get rattled early on the game and starts getting up to semantics or whatever, but Harry Smith can do the same thing. Uh, if
yeah.
Bevan
I think
French takes a knock early on or something like that, you can't call
it
it.
is.
You don't know.
It's weird. It's weird for me because as much as we can say KR being the dominant team, I feel like Wigan will set back sort of thing, let KR come at them. And if say like you Mikey Lewis don't start performing, the link plays don't work. Like you were saying, like we've all said, Bevan French will turn it on and they'll nip them 100%, and they won't even
Yeah,
need to try hard. But for me, KR need to bring it on Saturday. They need to turn up. They need to turn
yeah.
up. Otherwise, like say,
Do
all
they will have to be
season.
better than they were against us. I know that. Not
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
That's not knocking
100%.
them. It's just
Yeah.
because I know what we're going to be
Defensively, they
capable
have
of.
to be far better, don't they?
But he's
Yeah,
back.
You know,
He's back.
those parts of that game in the semi-final where Rovers was a little bit sluggish across their defensive line, and no disrespect to Saints, if Saints didn't punish us to a degree, but I know for a fact Wigan will do if you turn up with that type
yeah.
of quality of defence. So, you know,
I
it's one of
think
them. It's
the kick return as well. If you need to keep Jay Field away from that kick return, so if
Yeah.
you give him an inch, he's taking a mile and he's gone.
Would you not agree, Carl? Mikey Lewis needs to play out of his skin.
yeah. I think people who I think in the Challenge Cup final earlier on in the year, people were saying, yeah, he's a great player, he's a reigning man of steel, blah blah blah, but he needs to do it in a big game. You know, he showed nerves of steel to kick that goal in the Challenge Cup final, and I think he has to bring some similar composure for us to get over the top of Wigan. And like I was saying before the sound went off, I think whichever team lays the early platform for the props, I think if Wigan do it, French will get on top, and I think if Rovers do it, Mikey Lewis could get on top, and ultimately, I think that will be the difference. Which one of those two makes more of an impact on the game
I
early doors?
I personally feel, I don't know if you guys agree, I feel like KR need to score first.
I think Michael Lewis needs to have the best game of his career
Yeah,
on Saturday.
yeah. I think you need to score first, Carl. I think you
Yeah.
need to go up to maybe an 8-0 lead. Get get
Mm.
get a try, get a penalty goal, settle the nerves. 8-0 lead. I think you should be okay with that. Like going into like the Brunet game. But I think like you need an early lead.
Ultimately, you need to set your opportunities against Wigan because you're not getting many second bites of the
Oh
cherry.
yeah,
Uh, what I would say is, I know we're spending a lot of focus and time on Bevan French and Mikey Lewis, etc. But there's both teams have got other strike weapons to score tries. I mean, Tyrone May, I bang on about him and wax lyrical about him because he doesn't get enough credit because obviously Mikey's the flamboyant one and he's the one who's punching all in land. But if you'll give Tyrone May space, he's punishing you. And I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah, yeah.
Gaz will probably vouch for that
Yeah,
on Saturday night. I
he
mean,
asked some questions of our defence on Saturday as well.
yeah,
You know what's
it's
good
just off
about
the
him
cuff
though?
stuff.
You know what's good about him though, Carl, which he's been doing all year. Do you know when you're lining up for your team, everyone's marking Mikey Lewis. Everyone knows he's the main man. So you mark him, take him out of game, but you've got May. So what happens is you can't mark them both. May then shines,
Mm.
and it's like he takes over. So like, right, Mikey Lewis is taken out of game, but wait a second, there's another playmaker here, and
Yeah,
that's when
it's the perfect foil for Mike Heaney, and that's why the Rovers have been so successful the last couple of years. I mean,
yeah,
you don't like I keep saying he don't get enough credit because of Mike is the he's the pin-up guy, and he so to speak. But
yeah,
Tyrone definitely turns it on in the big games. So it wouldn't surprise me if he did it again at Old Trafford on Saturday.
mhm,
Yeah.
hopefully,
Well, it's same with Wigan as well. You try and take Bevan French out of the game, you got Jay Field causing chaos.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I don't really rate Harry Smith as an halfback, but he's doing the little bits while Bevan French is doing the glamour stuff.
Uh, uh, what now you've said that, mate? I'm going to absolutely put my neck on the block, and I'm going to say Rovers win. Rovers win it. Rovers win the treble. And anybody listening who can laugh at me next week if it doesn't happen, that's fair enough. But I'm not going to sit on the fence like some people who are part of this podcast in the last few weeks. So, I will put my neck on the block and I will say, hopefully we'll win.
Don't know what you're talking
And
about.
I'm confident that we will win. So, I mean, don't know what you boys think.
I'm saying Wigan. I'm again Saints through and through. I hate saying that Wigan are going to win, but if I'm going to be logic about it, take my heart out of it. I just think Wigan got a bit too much for you.
I do think that the strong. We can sit here and argue, but we know how good Wigan are, obviously. Um, I'm gonna go with my gut feeling. I'm gonna say KR, and that's not saying anything bad about Wigan. Wigan very much could do it. Very much could do it. Obviously, we know this. I just feel like not KR have had luck this year, but when things, I've said this previously in weeks, when things, very much with Leeds, when Leeds were going through it, I'm sure you say, guys, when Saints were doing it, you have this kind of like, not momentum, but when you've just won two trophies, you're going into theatre dreams, you go into the last game of the season, you look at your season as a whole and you've had way more ups and you've had downs and, I don't even know, Carl, you've not lost many games. It plays a big part in big games for me, and I just feel like the heart and desire is going to take them to end. And I just think,
Resilience comes to mind.
I
Yeah.
think you are going to do it, Carl. I truly believe you will.
It's when you're playing well, things go for you.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
just sort of how it goes.
yeah.
So we will find out next week. Well, we'll find out on Saturday what goes on. So yeah, a big thank you for everyone listening, all the support. Please keep liking, subscribing, commenting, and all that. Again, massive thank you to Acorn Joinery Leeds for the support. And remember, the podcast is for the fans, by the fans.